And whether you realize it or not, preparation is a form of accountability. It's preparing to act before the things happen or arrive. So proactive measures are put in place because we can see something coming, a situation we want to prepare for, or a potential problem we want to prevent. But then there are things I call reactive measures. These are created because of something that happened, an event occurred, an outcome of some sort, and it forces us to move differently. Perfect example of that would be the events of September 11th, probably one of the most tragic and worst days of U.S. history. Terrorists hijacked 4 planes and crashed them into the Twin Towers and the Pentagon, killing over 3,000 people. And it was so catastrophic, it had many of us even doubting if we even wanted to fly again. And overnight, our nation changed. Airport security was written from the ground up. And now, over 20 years later, when we fly, it doesn't matter if you're young, you're old, rich or poor, business traveler or vacationer, we all have to stand in the same line and pass through the same checkpoint. No shortcuts, no special lanes, no exemptions. Everyone is screened and everyone is examined and everyone is accountable for what they carry with them. And I remember the first time flying after 9/11. A good friend of mine gave me the rundown of all the changes that were made when you fly now. From what you could carry on the plane, what you couldn't, the TSA lines, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I had to prepare for that. And I'm glad I did. And beloved, I learned over the years that much of our natural lives could serve as metaphors for our spiritual life. Whether you realize it or not, all of us are going to have to stand before Christ, or as I like to refer to it, pass through that big checkpoint in the sky, if you will. And if you prepared and follow the rules, there's a good chance you'll get through. But if you neglect to get prepared, chances are you'll be denied access and miss the kingdom. Let's go to the scripture for today. And it's in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. And the Bible reads, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad." The Apostle Paul reminds us that our earthly bodies are just fragile, temporary tents we live in for a season. And it's amazing sometimes how we move through life as if we're going to live forever. Or we put things off as if tomorrow was promised. But the good news is God has prepared something greater, a more permanent heavenly home, if you will, that cannot fade. And he says, because of this promise, he encouraged the reader to not lose heart, even when life feels like our bodies are weak and our lives are heavy. We should carry this quiet confidence that God has something prepared that's greater for us. 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, 10th verse, says that, "For we all must appear before the judgment seat of Christ." Emphasis on all. This is that checkpoint I told you about, that regardless of who you are, you're going to stand in this line and go through it. And this is the purpose, that everyone may receive. The Hebrew word here for receive in this passage is a word that means taken care of or to be properly provided for. In other words, payment according to the things done in his body, whether they be good or bad. So the purpose you standing in this line saying it before Christ, is so that you can get payment for all the good and the bad things you've done in this life. And the Amplified Bible gives a breakdown according to the language of the verse. This is how what the individual receives will be measured. Number one, what was the purpose and the motives behind the things he did? Another aspect, what did he achieve by all the things that his purpose and motives were centered around? And then another aspect, what was his life busy with, or what was his life full of? And finally, what did he give himself to? And what did he devote a lot of his attention or most of his attention to? Remember, beloved, this is for all of us. In other words, everything we did in this life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would think this wouldn't be so bad if you were doing good things. But if you were doing bad things, the wrong things, it says that you're going to receive payment for that. Whatever your purpose or motive was, whether it was to feed your appetite or impulses, your ego, your dislikes or your hatred, you're going to receive payment for that. Or whatever you achieved or hope to achieve in reference to bringing people down or whatever the motive is, you're going to receive payment for that. And whatever you occupied yourself with, there's some people that have terrible thoughts that swim through their mind constantly throughout a day, and they act on those thoughts, and you're going to receive payment in reference to those things. And this is the key. No one is exempt.